Congratulations. How does that feel?
Oh, it feels amazing. Like, it's hard to describe with words at the moment. I'm really tired. It was a really hard game. The way we fought, the way we ran. We spoke about we have to run a lot today. We have to fight for each other. It's not easy to come at Old Trafford and win. And yeah, the way we played with that spirit today is unbelievable. And yeah, that's what got us to 3 points, because it was not the prettiest from our side. We were all about the fight today, and then you need 1 goal from a set piece, and that's going to win you the game.
Some goal as well, eh?
Yeah, I don't really remember the goal. I just remember I kicked the ball. Yeah, and luckily it went in. It was a really good feeling.
Well, if you don't mind me saying, Peter, he takes the accolade for the Great Dane of the
Doesn't
day.
he, yeah?
I mean, what a fantastic finish from the centre half.
We remind him. I don't believe for 1 second that he doesn't remember that goal.
Yeah.
That is once in a lifetime for a player from his position. You know, we can talk about mistakes. I mean, for me, this is crazy. What is Amrabat doing here? Why is he giving this foul away? The player's going nowhere. Ayew is going nowhere. I mean, just keep your cool. But once they get into this position, you know, look at that finish. That is just absolute. It's clinical.
You would have been proud of that, Glenn.
Oh, I think any player's proud of that. The way he swivels his hips and do you know what? I think more than anything is to keep that ball down as it's coming at him with such pace and back across. Gives the goalkeeper, I think he gives the goalkeeper no chance. I think Peter's a little bit disappointed with Onana, but it's a goal worthy of winning any game, I think.
Should Onana have done better?
It takes a little bit of deflection. The thing for me is, I'm used to the Manchester United goalkeeper making those kind of saves. David De Gea came up with incredible saves like that, kept us in the games. I'm not going to put anything on Onana. It's everything that isn't right at the moment. There's so many things that you can pick on. And of course, if you come in as a new player and you're in this environment, which is not, it doesn't seem to be a happy environment. No. It's going to affect you. It is going to affect you. You know, it's just what we've been used to for 12 years. You know, it's those amazing saves. And at the moment, it's just like too many easy goals that goes in.
When you talk about that sort of culture at Manchester United, and you can see that Højlund hasn't got that. He's a very positive young man, isn't he? I just hope the club doesn't drain the life out of him and that positivity that you can see at the moment.
Yeah, and you know, I would claim that, you know, 90% of what was good from Manchester United today came from something that he was involved in. The problem is that the team hasn't had a proper number 9 for a long time. So it also will take the team some time to get used to actually playing a number 9 in. Yeah. You know, he's making all the right runs. He's keeping his patience, which I think is, he's only 20 years of age. But they're not playing him right. They're not. No. He should get a better service, I'd put it that way.
I have to ask you about an incident in the second half. Should Manchester United have had a penalty for a handball on Joel Ward?
I mean, the Manchester United Old Trafford rule is that it is a penalty. I think that's gone out of the window a little bit. You know, we've had a really bad game, and I would love to get a penalty out of that, but I don't think it is a penalty. I think it was a correct decision. It's got very little to do with football. He's got his back turned, and you know it's a natural movement. His arm is kind of moving with him running, and it just so happened to hit his hand. It wasn't a penalty for me.
But for all their chances in the second half, Palace stood firm, right, Glenn?
Yeah, they did, and this is exactly what they wanted. They get the goal first half, and all of a sudden it gives you something to hang on to at Old Trafford. And when they do breach your defence, who do you need? You need your goalkeeper. And Sam Johnson stood up on a number of occasions. This is what you want from your number 9. I know he's playing number 11, but plays in a number 9 role, Højlund, and it's a good header, but obviously Johnson's equal to it. And Manchester United knocked on the door, but they just couldn't break Crystal Palace down.
I don't think they really kind of pose any threat. I mean, we see these they're not great chances. These are opportunities. So Manchester United in every game historically creates a lot of opportunities, but they also create an enormous amount of chances. So these are more coincident rather than they've played themselves into good positions. clearly there's a problem. You played 7 games, you won 3 and you lost 4. That's not what Manchester United is about. So is it what happens outside the football pitch? Is it what's happening within, the dressing room? I don't know, but it's clearly something needs to give. Something needs to change the course of Manchester United at the moment. And the moment, it's not great. They got, and I know it's another tournament, but they've got a home game against Galatasaray on Tuesday. Yeah. It's a different tournament. Your mindset can just get into a different groove. Yeah. It could be one of those games that, come falling down from the heavens that can change all of that, but they still need to win that game, of course.
Well, those 4 defeats in 7, it makes for their worst league start for 34 years. So what's the mood like in the United dressing room? Let's find out. Here's Mason Mount.
Mason, what's your verdict on that?
Yeah, it's a tough one to take. We know we need to win these games at home. They obviously had a few chances and they took it from the corner. We need to defend that better. We know that. I feel like we had a lot of chances. We created a few good opportunities, but we just didn't take it, and that's what we need to look at going forward. But yeah, as I said, we need to win these games, and especially at home. Yeah, tough one to take.
Did you feel you created enough to win that game? Do you feel you controlled the game enough to win that match?
I feel like we had them camped in their half for good spells, so we had chances to create, and I think, listen, if we get 1 goal, we're right back in it, and we're pushing and we're on top. So the game can flip, but we can't let them go 1-0 up, and that's the case. But listen, there's a lot of things to work on, a lot of things to look at, and we'll go back and we'll work on it, and we need to look at the next game now.
So United have gone from being unbeaten in 20 matches at home in the league to now 2 defeats in 2. What next now? What needs to be done? We've asked this a few times already this season, Peter.
How long have we got?
Yeah.
No, I think I said this at half-time. I would like to see the play being a bit quicker, more direct, and a lot more energy. I like to see all players run, and I like for the team to eradicate all the silly mistakes. So Amrabat, for instance, handled the ball 3 times right at the end of the game. For me, that's more of a penalty than the situation we saw before. And also, he gave away 2 or 3 times up while we were putting pressure on, gave fouls away. That kind of stops our momentum, or the team's momentum. And then, of course, the foul and the goal. I mean, there's no need. So eradicate all that, concentrate more, and then be a little more direct, and then believe that someone like Højlund can actually put the ball in the back of the net. It doesn't matter who scores. Just give it to somebody who can score. And at the moment, it seems to be a little bit like some players wants to do it themselves.
Well, it's been one of those rare days in the Premier League. We've seen defeats for both. Half-time then at Old Trafford, Manchester United are trailing at home to Crystal Palace. Frustrating first 45 for the host, but let's talk about this goal first of all.
Yeah, first we talked about Amrabat before the game, It's his first first Premier League game, and he's just not had a great game so far. Gives a silly foul away, which leads to this free kick. And then, of course, I expected a Danish player to score today. The other end, that is. But for Joachim Andersen to hit the ball like that, what a fantastic goal. And then we can talk about, should the goalkeeper have saved it? Should the defence have done better? Just to enjoy this. This is a fantastic finish. Well done, Joachim.
Yeah, as a centre-half, the way that ball drops on his right-hand side and he places it back across the goal, and with such power and purchase on it, I thought it was a fantastic goal, and Palace actually deserved to be in the lead.
Clear-cut chances have been few and far between for Manchester United, but what about the opportunities they have had?
I don't think Rashford passes the ball to Højlund enough, but when he does, something happens. Yeah, Højlund nearly scores from that pass. It's a fantastic save on the line. That's basically the only time he's really done that. He's had 3 or 4 occasions where he could have taken him into play and hasn't done that. That is something they need to develop. This is the only other chance, Glenn, that United has had.
Yeah, again, it comes from Rashford. Not a great cross when he gets there, but it's a long-range effort. And in all honesty, when you go away to Old Trafford, Crystal Palace will be delighted that Manchester United chances are from 20 yards out. That's exactly what you want, and they're frustrating Old Trafford, the crowd, the players, and they can feel that. And when you do that, when you go there as an away player and you can feel the crowd turning, you know you're winning, you know you're in the game, so they just need to keep being frustrating.
Well, there are plenty of other goals in the 5 other Premier League games.
0.
Yeah.
This is the closest United came whole of the first half. It's their only attempt on target. Rasmus Højlund thinks he might have got there, but Matt Gay off the line. Tariq Mitchell off the line. And this is a finish. Joachim Andersen. I mean, I'm surprised the ball reached him, Richard. It was a poor ball in, if I'm being honest, from Etsy. Flat, what shouldn't really get there, but it does. But what a finish. Just comes off Dallow's shoulder. Because I think there's one or two United fans might say goalkeeper should have got it, but just there, you can
التونسي أنس جابر تحرز اللقب الخامس في مسيرتها. أحرزت التونسية أنس جابر المصنفة السابعة عالميا لقب دوري نينغو بو الصينية 250 لكرة المضرب المقامة على أرض صلبة بفوزها الساحق على الروسية الواعدة ديانا شنايدر 6-2 و6-1 السبت في النهائي. وهذا اللقب الخامس في مسيرة جابر والثاني هذا العام بعد تشاري ليستون الأمريكية، والأول على أرض صلبة، وذلك بعد أن انتهى مشوارها عند الدور ثمن النهائي لدورة غوادا لاخارا المكسيكية الألف وقبلها عند الحاجز الأول لدورة سان دييغو الأمريكية. وخاضت جابر المباراة النهائية الثالثة عشر في مسيرتها الاحترافية والثالثة هذا الموسم بعدما توجت بطلة لدورة شارلستون في أبريل الماضي، وخسرت بطولة ويمبلدون ثالثة البطولات الأربع الكبرى مطلع يوليو الماضي. ويعد أبرز إنجاز لجابر صاحب 29 عاما وصفة في بطولتي ويمبلدون 2022-2023 وفلاشينغ ميدوز 2022. من جهتها خاضت شنايدر صاحبة 19 عاما ومصنفة 85 عالميا النهائي الأول في مسيرتها الاحترافية.